and notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Would you please stand and join me in our pledges? Pledge allegiance. The Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Remain standing for a minute. I'd like to call Doc Jackson up. He's a current city council member. He's going to bring us our prayer tonight.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we'd like to thank you for allowing us to be here at this Bastrop Independent School District School Board of Trustees meeting this evening as our elected officials come to discuss the business of our community and for the betterment of education in our community and in our schools. I'd like to pray for each and every one of them that they make prominent and just decisions tonight that will help us in educating the youth of our community. Bless all of the staff as well as the students in our district, and also the different members of the community that are gathered here this evening in interest of the educational pursuits of our community. In your name, we'd like to pray that you would just bless Bastrop as a community, each and every one of us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Doc Jackson. We're going to move on to special presentations, and we have our state rep with us tonight. We're going to ask him to come forward. John Cyrier, current state rep for District 17. Welcome you to the meeting.
Thank you. See if I can set that right there. James School Board members and also our Superintendent Steve Murray, thank you for having us. Last month, y'all may remember it was School Board Appreciation Month, and I'm John Cyrier. I represent 5 counties of Lee, Bastrop County, Caldwell County, Gonzales, and Karnes. And for a year now, I've had the honor and privilege to be your state representative. In this district of 5 counties, we have 18 school districts, and Bastrop ISD being the largest. And I wanted to show our appreciation for what you guys and gals do. I've grown up in the school district, in the public school system. I have 3 older brothers, and my oldest brother, Mark, actually spent 10 years being a school board member for Herschel Bedford. And so I know that it is sometimes a thankless job, but also know that you guys realize how important it is because these schools are our backbone of our communities. So with this, we have a flag that we flew over our Capitol in y'all's appreciation and for what y'all are doing in this certificate. So thank you for having us here.
Thank you. John, we're going to get we're going to get a quick picture. We're going to get a quick picture with you before you leave in the board, if you don't mind. We'll come out there.
Kelly, can you come stand in front of, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There, that's perfect. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect, thank you.
Thanks, John.
I wish I was bringing y'all a check too, but this looks like this is from somebody else.
A big check. Big one. Thank you, John. We're going to display that out in our cabinet for a while. We may display it here at some point, but we appreciate that.
My pleasure.
It means a lot.
Thank you for all you're doing.
Now we'd like to go ahead and call up our city councilman, Doc Jackson.
Well, thank you, President Allen, and the rest of the board and superintendent. I bring you greetings, or do I need to use my microphone? Is that okay?
Either way.
I bring you greetings from the city of Bastrop, and it is indeed an honor and a pleasure to bring a proclamation to you for Black History Month. I did this last year, and I've done it for several years in the past, and it's just, this is probably the last time I'll do it as a council member. And so I'm just excited to bring this to you this evening. I'm really proud of the things that you all do in the schools and the programs that you all do for Black History Month. Being a product of Bastrop Independent School District myself, I know it has a long history of celebrating Black history throughout the years. Even one of the days when I was at Emile, when it was an all-black school in those days, and my uncle was principal there, and my aunt was a teacher there. And so we go a long ways in celebrating Black History Month. But I'm going to read the proclamation that's from our mayor and council to you, and I brought copies for you to display here at the administration building, as well as the high schools, and I brought some extra ones if the middle schools or other schools would like them also, and they're all signed by the mayor. But it's Black History Month, February 1st to the 29th, 2016. It's a proclamation, and it reads as such. African Americans have played a central role in our nation's history, but for too long historians have ignored or glossed over their contributions and the injustices that they have suffered. The origins of Black History Month can be traced to the scholar Carter G. Woodson, who in 1926 conceived a yearly celebration to help rectify the omission of African Americans from history books. Today, the observance of Black History Month throughout the United States stands as a testament to the success of Woodson's project and an example of how we can work together to make this teaching of history more honest. And whereas the theme of Black History Month is recognition of hallowed grounds, we pay tribute to the heroes of African American history. We remember the courage that led activists to defy the injustices that have been suffered and how they continue to carry forward the unyielding hope that guided a movement toward justice. Facing terrible odds, they worked tirelessly to achieve full equality with other citizens. And this month we celebrate their bravery, toil, and sacrifice on this long road to justice. And therefore, the members of the Bastrop City Council encourage all residents, business owners, schools, churches, and visitors to join with us in celebrating Black History Month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. And therefore, the mayor, Mayor Ken Kesselis, the mayor of the city of Bastrop, has signed and recognized the month of February as Black History Month and has signed this proclamation that I will be presenting to you all this evening. As I said, Bastrop Independent School District has a long history of celebrating this month, and I've participated in some of the programs in the past, and I'm just really honored to be able to bring you this proclamation from the city. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. You probably should do a picture.
As I said, I have several of them to give to you, so I'll let you all distribute them as you wish.
Okay, we'll hold one up, a picture, and I'll get.
Are you ready? On three, 1, 2, 3. Great, thank you.
Thank you all again.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson, for bringing the proclamation, and thank you for the service to the city council over the years. Appreciate you.
And I'm going to excuse myself as I do have a city council meeting that's about to start as we speak. So,
Thanks, Doc. Thank you. Well, the superintendent informed me we got two nice surprises tonight. Harper Jimenez is here, along with Angeline Saratos. And if y'all want to both start making your way up, our student speaker on character education for the month of February is Justice and Honesty, and we're going to hear from both of these kids. We'll start with Harper. Harper is a 6th grader at Bastrop Intermediate School. Will speak to the community on the character trait justice. Harper enjoys basketball and is a point guard for the Suns. He also enjoys skateboarding on his free time. And at school, his favorite class is math. He was knighted for the virtue of humility this school year at Early Act First Night. When he grows up, Harper hopes to become a chemist. His parents are here, Trent and Tiffany Jimenez. Would you like to stand and be recognized, please?
Hello, justice is standing up for what you believe and taking personal responsibility for whatever you do. What is fair and truthful. What I also learned about justice is that you should not discriminate against others. We should not blame others. And a while back I got into trouble for not doing my chores. I could have blamed my little sister, but I knew it was the wrong thing to do because she did not do anything wrong. Instead, I told my mom what I really did and did not get into trouble. I learned that justice is about taking full responsibility for what you have done and not for taking the easy way out.
Great, fantastic. Thank you, Harper. And now before Angelina gets started, she'll be speaking on the virtue of honesty. Angelina enjoys spending time with her cousins and playing games like tag. Her favorite class is also math. When she grows up, she hopes to become a nutritionist because she wants to study health and how to be healthy. Her parents are here, Brenda and Jose Serratos. Would you please stand? There she is. Thank you. Okay, Angeline, go ahead.
I think honesty is important because if we do not tell the truth, we can face consequences. I remember the story about Tamika and her friend when we studied honesty in Miss Bullock's EAFK class. Tamika lied to her friend. What I learned is that lying can cause arguments between friends. One day, I lied to my uncle. I accidentally broke his water globe and blamed it on my cousin. I felt guilty, so I told him the truth. My uncle told me it was okay, but to always tell the truth. I learned that if you lie, people might get upset or they can get angry because you lied to them.
Thank you. Thank you very much to both of those kids. Thank you for making your schools proud and your parents proud.
Mr. Murray, I'd like to do a little shout out for Mr. Autry. Those are good topics, and want to compliment you on a great job that you're doing and your team over there at that campus, and justice and doing the right thing and honesty. I see y'all instilling that, and I definitely see it in the children over there too. Yes, sir.
Superintendent Murray will now introduce his Student Advisory Council.
Yeah, thank you, James. Each month, we are thrilled to have students like our character speakers. Other students get recognized, but we consistently are blessed by having our Student Advisory Council students that sit in advisory, not only to me as superintendent on a monthly basis at their campus, but they get to come do that with the Board of Trustees, which is really still in the state of Texas and across the country still unheard of. And again, I want to praise the board for allowing that to take place each month. We have some students here from both of our high schools and also a student from Circa, from Colorado River Collegiate Academy. And I'm going to introduce them real quick. And as I do, I'm going to have them stand and talk a little bit about themselves. Maybe if they're seniors or juniors, a little closer down the road, they can talk about what they plan on doing. Even my sophomore, I'm going to put her on the spot and make her talk to us a little bit about some things going on with her. But we'll start off with Ben, a senior from Cedar Creek High School, Ben Cole. Ben, you can stand up, please. Tell us a little bit about what you plan on doing and anything you might want to say about the Student Advisory Council.
Hello, my name is Benjamin Cole. I'm a senior at Cedar Creek High School. My plans for the future, I'm applied to the University of Texas at Austin to become an elementary educator. My application's been in for 2 months. I'm waiting for the response, so cross your fingers for me. I'll be letting you know if I get in. Oh, geez, what were the questions again?
Well, okay, how long have you been on the council, and maybe something about the council, the experience with being on the council?
Okay, so this year is my first year having joined the council, along with a couple of other students that is also their first year. I remember hearing about it before, but being a member now, things are a whole lot more in depth. We talk about the things that are going on around not only Cedar Creek High School for our meetings, but the district in general. And this does give a whole lot more insight to the students that are in the meetings, so we can go forth and be the change in our school. For example, we had conversations, many conversations about student IDs. This is something that myself, I did not understand going into this, but now I feel that not only am I an expert on student IDs and why we need them, but I feel that the people that I come in contact with every day now have a better understanding that it is not just you have to do this because there are people in charge of you saying you have to do it. It is more for safety and for identification purposes.
Thanks, Ben.
That's it.
Next, from Cedar Creek High School, as I said earlier, sophomore Kendall Haas.
Hi, I'm Kendall Hess. I'm a sophomore from Cedar Creek High School. My post-high school plans are undecided yet, but I was recently one of 6 students in the country selected for the National Association of Secondary School Principals Student Leadership Advisory Committee, which is a mouthful. I've only been on the council for a year, but I've already seen some really positive changes as a result of the things we discuss in the meetings, so it's good stuff we're doing.
Kind of get past everybody that she was one of 6 in the country to be picked in that league program.
Let's just pause on that.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody understood that. And from Bastrop High School, junior Alex Peterson.
Looks familiar.
All right, hello. I'm Alex Peterson. I'm a junior at Bastrop High School, and I play music. And my aspirations after high school is to hopefully go to college, and go for law. And as far as the advisory board, it's really nice being on it because it's great to be able to have a direct voice and direct input directly to Mr. Steve Murray. So, I mean, it's really awesome to be able to have the opportunity. Yeah.
Thanks, Alex. I'm sure at some point during the meeting we get your dad to ask you a question or something.
Yeah, and I would add to that, Alex, maybe possibly being a school board member down the road.
Again, another junior from Bastrop High School, Natasha Cosme Batista.
Hi, I'm Natasha Cosme Batista. I'm a junior at Bastrop High School. After college, after high school, I have a lot of things I want to do. And I'm pretty sure we've all been through this. I mean, I would like to go into ministry. I want to be, in psychology. I want to pursue an acting career. There's different things I want to do, but we'll see when we get there. I really appreciate, what we do once a month, and it's nice to have the students' perspective, because I know you guys you're not there walking down the hallways with us, and it's nice for us to come in and speak our minds, and then not only that, but see those plans go into action and really see different things happening in our school. So thank you.
Thanks, Natasha. And finally, and we're really excited that this year we've included students from the Colorado River Collegiate Academy, our early college high school campus, and from Genesis. We've included them in our Bastrop High School Student Advisory Council meetings. And we have, Kieran, are you a sophomore?
Yes, I am.
We have a sophomore from Circa, Kieran Dunn.
Hello, I'm Kieran Dunn. As you all know from what he just said, I'm a sophomore. After high school, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do, but I know that it involves math. I'm kind of thinking about going into physics. I've been on the Student Advisory Council for 1 year, and it's nice to have kind of an input, and it's also nice to see what other high schools not necessarily the problems, but what they're like in general. We're not a traditional high school. We only have about 120 students, give or take, at the Collegiate Academy. And so it's nice to kind of have an insight into what the other high schools are like.
Very good. Thanks, Kieran.
Thank you.
For those who don't know, Kieran will have quite a kind of a jump on that college education. Kieran, when you graduate in a couple of years, you're going to have accumulated how many college hours?
60.
60, which will equal an associate's degree, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic. Very exciting. Thanks, Kieran.
All right, we're going to move on to our portion, it's an open forum. I'd like to ask Isabel Warby to come up. She is going to visit with us for a couple of minutes. Welcome, Isabel.
I'm Isabel. I'm a junior at Bastrop High School, and I just wanted to present to y'all a petition to allow colored hair at Bastrop Independent School District. Bastrop Independent School Board, we appreciate all the work you do for the Bastrop community. Your tireless work to help educate our young people and to make a positive difference in their life when there are so many negative influences in today's cultures is greatly appreciated. Recently, it concerned us that we heard students with colored hair would be placed in ISS. Students that did not recolor their hair would be kicked out of school. We are submitting this petition because we feel colored hair is not distracting and improperly places undue attention on appearance over education. In today's culture, colored hair is so common that even if at one time it was distracting, it is no longer the case. Being distracted while texting and driving causes 23% of all auto collisions. Yet being distracted by multicolored hair while driving causes 0% of all auto collisions. Netflix distracts you. Facebook distracts you. Surfing the web distracts you. But you will never hear a story of how someone lost a whole afternoon of productivity by seeing colored hair. I know I haven't. ISS and kicking students out of school should be reserved for punishment of gross behavior. If the purpose of school is to grow students intellectually and hopefully help them become positive influencers in their community. Yet if students with good grades who are involved in extracurricular activities and volunteer work are being placed in ISS punishment and getting kicked out of school, it's missing the point of school altogether. You should be patting yourself on the back for accomplishing your mission and rewarding the students, not punishing them. Inadvertently, we shift our focus from their heart and brain to their outward appearance. Bullying, cutting, stress, depression, and anorexia are all byproducts of a society that hyper-focuses on the outward appearance instead of focusing on the inside of a person's mind and heart. This is not a petition to give preferential treatment or benefits to certain students. This petition does not open the floodgates to allow students to have vulgar or obscene clothing or racy attire. It's simply a petition to allow young adults to have the freedom to color their hair. We ask that merit, character, worth ethic, drive, and values be the focus of the Bastrop School's education and not appearance. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. Samuel 16:17. Sincerely, the students, faculty, and parents in the Bastrop Independent School District. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Isabel.
Thank you for your comments, Isabel. We appreciate it. Our next speaker is going to be Sandy Martinez Nava, and she's going to come up.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sandy Martinez Nava. I'm the Community Ambassador for Superior Health Plan. We are a Medicaid and CHIP health plan for the Austin Travis service delivery area, which includes Bastrop County. It's been about a year that we have had the opportunity for nonprofits to apply for a $5,000 grant. And I have encouraged these beautiful ladies here behind me, Claudia, Reina, and Tammy, to apply because I know that they have some special programs here at Bastrop ISD and the students that could benefit from it. So I am here to award the $5,000 grant to Bastrop ISD, and I wanted to do it in person and also take a picture with my big check. That's kind of what everybody will remember me as, the lady coming in with the big check. But I did ask our marketing department if we could have a smaller one because it is pretty long. So here is the check. Reina, please pass it on to your finance and school board. Thank you very much. Oh, she's the one. Okay. And I do hope to see in the future, as the grant is agreed, that it will help children go on college tours, especially migrant or homeless and foster care and at-risk population. So we have several student interest groups that we want to see and are excited to see those monies going towards that. And so we're excited to built this partnership with you all for the next year. So thank you all very much, and thank you, school board, for having me tonight. And if we can just take a quick picture before I head back. Thank you.
Hey, man, it's board picture night. It's good picture night. I'm coming over here. Can you see Kelly?
All right, all ready? On three, 1, 2, 3.
We just had a very fine presentation done by one of our students, one of your fellow students, concerning colored hair. So can you give us some of your ideas and thoughts about that being something that's restricted in our schools? Who would like to?
Hello, Benjamin Cole again. As a student who has colored his hair multiple times, some more crazy colors in the summer, I feel that it is as much of a representation of an outgoing personality. It's just another way to augment ourselves, to enjoy ourselves and enjoy the way that we present ourselves. So it doesn't cause too much distractions, as it was pointed out. I've seen a couple people around Austin. You know, Austin is keeping it weird, and Bastrop is not too far outside of Austin. So it's something that we are subjected to as a young culture. Every day we see this, and it's something that we've grown used to. I think that it would not be a bad idea to start working it into, maybe not all at once, letting students completely color every single color kind of thing, but I think it would be a good idea to start working into the dress code coloring hair.
Ben, good comment. Anybody else?
Hi, I'm Natasha. I'm enjoying the fact that she pointed out how, like, I'm not going to be sitting in my desk and I'll be taking a test. I'm not going to be like, wow, her hair is blue. Like, that's not a pretty blue. I'm not going to be sitting there. And I feel like the word distraction is used a lot when it comes to, like, school rules. And I'm not saying, like, the word distraction is, an excuse. I mean, there's a lot of distractions that could happen in school. But I also feel like this letting hair being colored can lead to a lot of other things for dress code, like showing your shoulders. Like, boys are not going to be like, oh, her shoulders look nice today. I feel like it could lead to a lot of different things. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really appreciate the fact that she came up and did that today, because a lot of people won't do that or are too scared to. But okay.
I just have one thing to say on it. I think that whenever students dye their hair, it's less of an act to try and distract people. It's not an act to try and distract people. It's more of an act of self-discovery and exploration. And so by kind of saying that they can't do that, it's limiting how much they can grow as a person whenever they're at school. And so I think that dyeing their hair, while it's not necessarily, I don't think that everyone should do it. I think that those students who want to do it, it's more for their personal growth than anything. And I don't think that it's a distraction. I think that it actually helps the student body as a whole.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Alex?
I don't have an explanation.
He's ready for another one.
He'll take it.
Yeah,
Good.
we'll wait till we get another one.
I think Alex has a microphone in his face every day of the week, so he not today.
Just needs a guitar.
Yeah.
We really do appreciate hearing your opinions and your thoughts. It's helpful to all of us.
I'll give you an example of the counterpoint that we go through in Student Advisory Council, and y'all know, we do this all the time, right? So what I might say to them is, I agree that obviously, I don't think anybody goes, well, some people do, but most people don't go out of their way to be distracted, Karen, right? Okay, but we also talk about the fact that at some point, maybe in the future, not necessarily in college, but in a job situation, you're gonna be asked in some way, shape, or form to conform, okay? So it's not necessarily about distraction all the time. Sometimes it's about an issue of conformity, and it could be that there's parts of that. But so, would anybody venture to respond to that? Do you see yourselves maybe having conform? We talked about this with IDs the other day, didn't we, Ben? Yes, sir. Because I brought it up. They didn't like the fact I brought this up. No, we loved it. Yeah, I'm sure you did. But I just got finished telling them about some visits I was able to go to some of the most innovative workplaces in the world. Got a chance to go to Google and whatever, and they were all very excited. I said, guess what? You can't walk anywhere in Google without an ID. You don't get in the building with an ID. You don't go anywhere near the building without an ID. So, and it was spoken to earlier, and Natasha talked about safety and security and those types of things. So, but that's an issue of conformity as well, not just all about safety. There's an issue of conformity. So, anybody venture to speak to that? Do you see that could be a possibility, that you're going to one day walk into the workplace and there is going to be a level of conformity, maybe not hair color, but some other kind of conformity? Yeah, Kieran, go ahead.
I agree with that. I agree that later in life there is going to be an instance where we have to conform. However, I think that letting students grow while they're in high school, you rarely see any adults with colored hair, because they've grown out of that. It's I don't want to say that students dyeing their hair is a phase, but I think that after a while they'll grow out of it, and so it's so by letting them grow by dyeing their hair, I think that they can grow out of the phase of trying to stick out. They'll learn to they'll grow out of that.
Pretty good. Anybody else? Ben? Shocker, Ben. You want to count?
I have a lot of things to say about a lot of things. as I did mention earlier, I am planning to go into education myself, and just kind of to branch off on that, also being a senior this year, I have done many things in the community as well as just working at regular jobs. I've had a job at Best Buy, and I just started at Chili's recently. This is one of the areas where the conforming to society's rules comes into play with the colored hair. Quite recently, I've become the host at Chili's, so I have to be a visual face for the restaurant itself. Clean shaven, not bad looking, I guess. Wait, I was gonna say trashy, but I didn't want to say trashy. So you just kind of got to look professional in your role. Before being old enough to obtain a job, that was the times when I felt it was okay for myself to color my hair. And when we get out into the working world and things like this, that's when we have to pay bills. We have to go and do this, so we are expected to have a job by that point. Right now, being in school with the students not having to have jobs for most of them, this is the time when they can find themselves and they can have fun with their hair colors and things like this before it's too difficult to find employment with colored hair or a tattoo that shows a little bit below some sleeves, which I'm not trying to like open it up to tattoos now, but slippery slope. But I feel that coloring the hair now would allow someone to have a lot of joy in their appearance and feel more confident in the way that they look as a youth, because it is so difficult to adapt and change, as opposed to where they're not allowed to due to money constraints later.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Oh, Natasha?
Natasha?
Giving you the mic like you want to say something. You don't have to. I'm just, yeah, we can wait.
And for the student council as well, you know, during form of government, during an open forum, the board's not able to respond to the presenters. We're
That's a
asking
good point,
y'all,
yeah.
questions. And so, if you wonder why, when both speakers spoke, we were unable to respond to them. So it's
Yeah,
just-
those are the rules of public forum. Very good. Thanks, Ashley, for reminding him that. Yeah. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it. Oh, Billy, I'm sorry. Well, when Ben is speaking, it takes a little longer, but, you know. No, Ben, they're great. Billy, it's an hour and a half. In fact, the first meeting of the year is 2 hours because we get to know each other better, but after that, it's an hour and a half. Now, they do tend to want to try to extend those, especially when the passing period, they want to go into the next period. But we have to conform, and I have to get them to class. So we usually get out of there in an hour and a half. An hour and a half, yeah. Yeah, and we have lots of discussion. And pizza.
We may come back to you, but we're going to go ahead and get to some more business. Let's start with the consent agenda. If nobody wants to pull anything, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as presented. Item 3, A, B, and C. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. We'll now move to our action items. Ms. Janie Pollard. Talking about the school calendar.
It's that time of the year, and so what we have presented to you tonight is the possibility of having the school board vote on our 2016-17 school calendar. We've had the opportunity in December, and in January we've already kind of prepped you for the new approach. Instead of days, it's in minutes. And so in front of you tonight, I present to you the draft B, which was voted on unanimously throughout the district, every campus. That was their pick out of 3 calendars. And so after presenting it to the superintendent's team, I present to you their recommendation. And I recommend that the board approve the proposed 2016-17 Bastrop ISD school calendar as presented.
Are there any questions for Ms. Pollard?
Yeah, I believe, Ms. Pollard, this has been kind of a, not too lengthy of a process, but when do we normally vote on the school calendars? In the summer?
No, we've been voting the last few years in February. The first few years I was here, we brought it for information in February, and then we voted in March.
So next February, will there be more adjustments with the law change, do you feel?
Well, I hope not. We're hoping for 2 good years with this law, and then we'll just have to see how it goes from there.
I was just asking the community several times, y'all are changing it now, what will next school year look like? They were just curious.
Well, and I appreciate that because, we did adjust the one for this year, so that's a very valid question. And we have never, in the 31 years I've been in education, adjusted one like we did a few weeks ago because of the opportunity we haven't had.
So moved to accept the calendar as presented.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to approve the school calendar for 2016 through 2017 school year. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Pollard. Now we'll go over Superintendent Murray.
Yeah, item 4B is relative to the change in the board meeting date because it falls, I believe is our third Tuesday. Sandra, was it on spring break? So we wanted to push it the week after. Yeah, which would be, I don't know the exact date on 22nd. We can still have agenda review. That won't be a problem the week prior to spring break. And then come back after spring break and have our meeting ready to go. So I would ask for that change at this time.
What date is that?
22nd, is that what it was? Tuesday the 22nd.
Y'all don't want to join us on spring break?
Depends on where.
That's look at all them.
Yes, sir. The Thursday prior to this spring break.
I move that the board meeting be changed to March 22nd in the month of March.
Second.
So moved and seconded to change the regular March meeting to Tuesday, the 22nd. Is there any discussion?
Okay, Mr. Allen, do we need to add agenda review on the 10th? This is a call meeting.
It's standard,
Okay.
the Thursday before, so we don't have to put that in the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Now we'll move to our CFO, Ms. Callahan.
We're here to bring another bond refunding that we got information on this month, and it's in your packet. This is a refunding for a portion of our 2009 bonds. That was the last bonds we actually sold. They were part of our 2007 bond election. We sold that in 2 portions. So this is actually the second half of that bond sale. It's $8.6 million. We're looking to save at least $1.2 million. That's the minimum that this parameter order accepts as part of the savings. What I would say, and it's also on your packet, is we've already had 7 successful bond refundings since 2011. We saved over $27 million. We've refunded over $30 million of debt. So it's exciting news as always to have another refunding, and this is a parameters order which we do every time that gives the authority to sell the bonds when the interest rates are just right. So it says that the sale should be completed by August, maybe before that, but again, just bring this to the board and look forward to another savings. So we're asking the board to approve the parameters order.
It's moved and seconded to approve the parameters of the sale of the bonds, delegating the matters to the authorized official of the district. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Sandra.
Real quick, Mr. Allen, if we could, I meant to do this earlier, but it wasn't on the agenda, but we're asked when we were at the chamber luncheon this past month. We have a spotlight on educators each month. One of our schools, our principals do a great job of presenting each month. We've had several principals this year already, and this month we had Melinda Gardner. Melinda, if you come forward, please. And I'd like Melinda to just do a quick repeat, if she will, of the little highlights she did at the chamber luncheon, and do that for us.
Thank y'all. Thank you for having me. It was an honor to get to present at the chamber to share with the community great things that we have going on in our schools, and so it's nice to have the opportunity tonight to share as well. As we all know, our state accountability and assessments is an important role, but it's just one piece to the puzzle. It's important to note that we are all very focused on providing our students with opportunities to grow them and develop them in order to be successful. So I'm going to highlight tonight some great things that we have going on at Lost Pines that we feel is doing just that. So one of our latest things that many of you may have already seen out on social media is our Keep Me Safe campaign that our second graders came up with. This is out of one of our second grade classrooms, Miss Anthony's class. And during a science unit on motion and speed, the kids got into conversations about cars and safety, what causes car wrecks. So the students started identifying problems with car wrecks, which led them to talk about parents texting. So they decided that they wanted to create their own campaign to ask their parents not to text and drive while they're in their car, calling it Keep Me Safe. So with the help of Renee Cervantes, she helped them to elaborate on that idea and on that campaign. Emily Parks has helped us with that as well. And so they've put out their campaign. It's out there on social media. They were really excited that TxDOT has shared their campaign. And then a couple of weeks ago, Austin American-Statesman did a really big, nice write-up on it. It was really cool for the kids to see that even the American-Statesman had picked up their campaign and had put it in the newspaper. So it's really powerful what that did for the kids, having that opportunity. They've learned at a very young age that they have a voice and they have the ability to have an impact on others. They are getting to hear stories where people are seeing their campaign and then they're in their car traveling and they're putting down their cell phones when they go to pick it up. Molly had shared a story similar after she saw the campaign. So when we talk about preparing kids for the futures, when we have students at this young of an age that are already identifying problems and then trying to have a voice heard through a campaign like theirs. So that's really exciting. If you haven't seen it, if y'all will look up the Keep Me Safe campaign, there's more to come with that. They are raising funds to have decals put on windshields. So their goal is for the end of the school year for every parent on our campus to have one of those decals. So they're raising the funds to be able to do that. Another thing that we will have up and running by the end of this month is our Genius Hour Passion Projects. So if you're unfamiliar with that, this is actually something that Google works under. They work under this philosophy that if they give their employees 20% of their time to work on something that they're passionate about, that they can research and come up with, that it increases productivity. And so 50% of Google's major projects actually come out of this 20% of this creative time. Gmail and Google News are both things that have come out of this. So we are incorporating with our instruction time for our students to have what we're calling Passion Projects Genius Hour, where they are choosing topics that they're passionate about, that they will be researching, and then developing products for, whether it's some kind of cooking show, whether it's a Prezi that they put together, whether it's an actual project, and then we'll be having a passion project fair at the end of the school year. Next year, we're gonna start it from the beginning of the year so that they can have 2 passion fairs and have 2 projects that they develop over the course of the year. It's also along the philosophy of producing lifelong learners. So at Google, they have employees that are always excited about learning more, and so we're trying to instill the same passion with our kiddos. Another one is we have our 4th graders again this year have their Destination Imagination team. So as many of you remember, our 4th graders last year participated on this team, and they placed second at regionals and were able to go to state last year in Dallas. This year's Texas DI Spotlight is a guy by the name of Zach Reeder, who is a Texas A&M grad and an aerospace engineer. And he attributes a lot of the skills that he acquired through participating in Destination Imagination to being able to build his first airplane. So our kids are engaging in these type of skills and acquiring these skills that can turn into kids being able to do the same thing. They do a lot of problem solving through the challenge rounds and work collaboratively together. Something else we're doing, let's see, we just had UIL last weekend where we had 25 students that participated in academic events. We have 2 programs that are underway at Lost Pines that we're very excited about. One of them is Formative Loop, which is developing numeracy fluency for our students. Our kids are really excited about this. We started at 7:31 every morning, and it's actually improving attendance and students getting to school on time. We're having parents that are coming to us and saying, my kid's saying that we have to leave on time because they have to be there at 7:31 to be able to start their Formative Loop quiz for the day. So that's exciting to hear how excited the kids are, and they're going home and telling their parents, I've got to be there to do this. And then we're able to give feedback to kids daily on their math fluency. Another one is our English high frequency words program, and so it's just a systematic, consistent approach to high frequency words, empowering kids by the end of 3rd or 4th grade to have mastered 1,000 English sight words. So if you think even our kids who struggle to read and struggle to decode, if you've mastered 1,000 English words, you can pick up any text and you can read that text. So that's what our goal is to have kids who are able to successfully read because of what they've mastered through this program. Again, another program that the kids are already showing a lot of excitement for. On Fridays, we do a Principals Challenge where I do video recordings the night before with the words that they're spelling, and so they're really motivated by that, to have the video of the principal in the classroom that's giving them their spelling test every week. And then, let's see, we also have our Student Advisory Council underway at Lost Pines with our 4th graders. This has been really cool to see, and I love coming and hearing from you guys and hearing our children are much more wise than we give them credit for, so it's always really great to hear y'all's perspective and to even hear it from 4th graders, to see school through their lens. But then also what they're getting to learn, they're getting to learn to identify problems and find solutions for them. And I think that's a really important skill for our kids to be able to have as they move on through education and as they graduate and pursue careers. I think that's really beneficial for them. And it's been really neat to see too, because we started it out with 7 4th graders and then had them choose 7 more 4th graders. And so we wanted to talk about what diversity meant and having a diverse group that could collaborate together. And so really seeing their awareness already for diversity and giving them that challenge of choosing, and they were successfully able to put together a really diverse group and even have reasoning behind students that they were choosing to be on it and why that student would have great perspective as a part of the group. So that's been really fun for us. And then we've got our local service project through Early Act First Night underway, where we are raising funds for Relay for Life, and so the kids are learning about that and how they can contribute in that way. And then we have a couple of teachers that wrote a grant through Target and were awarded the grant for a trip to NASA. So we have a group of 3rd grade students, 2nd grade students, and GT students that will be traveling in April to NASA. And one of the goals out of that is maybe we can spark some passions with some kiddos, besides the things they'll learn that day, but they'll learn about new career opportunities that maybe they haven't been able to see firsthand. So maybe we'll come back with some kiddos that want to be aerospace engineers after that trip. And then this Saturday in Austin is Austin Energy's Regional Science Fair. So we have kiddos that are going to be participating in that this weekend. So I know you said quick. I tried to make it quick, maybe not short, but it was quick, and I'm not going to ask for a picture.
It's a shame that
Not going to ask for a picture.
it's a shame nothing's going on at Lost Pines.
Nothing. And then bottom line, the most important thing to highlight is we have some of the most dedicated teachers. They are so hardworking and hardworking students, and so that's one of the best parts to highlight.
Thank you.
Just ask our students, how many of you would like to go back to elementary school?
Yes. Pretty exciting, huh? Hey, I don't know about asking y'all a question, but I do want to mention something because we went over it real quick, and it's something we haven't discussed in Student Advisory Council. It's a good thing, I think y'all are going to be excited about it. The calendar that we just passed was based on the new legislation that allowed us to count minutes for the school year instead of days. So if we had an excess of 75,600 minutes, we could change our calendar, which we haven't been able to do for about 10 years in the state of Texas. We've been able, remember, we've had to start when it tells us to start, and you've had so many days that you had to go, and pretty much everybody ends at the same time. So, you know, it's pretty exciting. But so we're, you know, next year, this school year will end and have graduations prior to Memorial Day, which is quite a bit different. Yes, Ben, I'm sorry. We did it too late. 1 year too late. Sorry, Ben. Yeah. But I know we just went through that. Yeah, okay. We just went through that so quick. I wanted to make sure that y'all knew how significant that was. Still have the same holidays and length of time for Christmas and Thanksgiving, but we're able to shave some days off. The teachers will be able to take those extra days while y'all have off, and they're going to be able to have some extra training days and professional development. So their contract year stays the same, but the students' calendar year is shorter. Just want to make sure y'all knew about all the details of the calendar.
And Mr. Murray and the board, I was able to attend the chamber lunch. Melinda did a great job. And I know there have been some presentations in the past, and so I'm getting a lot of feedback in the community going, wow, we didn't know all that stuff's going on. Y'all need to advertise that. And we're like, well, we do. And so anyway, so it is a great audience. It is being very effective, and I think it's generating some excitement. So thank y'all for doing that.
For the opportunity to be able to share, because like you said, not everybody in the community is aware of everything that is going on, so we'll have the opportunity to highlight that.
Well, and the great thing is, and because of that suggestion, we obviously do it at Chamber. We did it tonight in front of the board, and then we're videoing, and it'll be on our website as well.
Great.
So everybody can see it.
And it'll be included in our e-news that's sent out to parents monthly, a link to it, and then it'll also be on our social media.
Thank you.
Anything else for the students before we go quickly through information, then we're going to go into closed session and let them go on their way? Is there anything else you all wanted to ask or make comment to our students before they depart tonight? Anything else? No? Good? Glenn, your last chance. Hit Alex up for a question.
Let's talk about a few things at home.
What have you learned being on this committee?
I've learned that I definitely have to say that I've learned that about all the technicalities behind it. If there's something a certain way in school, it's like, you know, sitting back to the ideas, I guess, you know, like things are a certain way because as a student, if you're not on the committee or whatever, with some people, they may not understand that until you get on the committee or when you like directly talk to someone that's even under your peer or anything, and you understand how important certain rules that have been put in place are.
That's a great point. Alex, that remind me, you know, because Chief Yarborough, our new chief police, and also our chief operations was at our last meeting. The students got to ask him questions about safety, security, and the operations of the school district. Tomorrow, when we meet with Bastrop High School, and then on, yes, that's right, Natasha will be there. And then the next day, when I'm with Cedar Creek High School, and also at Bastrop, obviously, we have Circa and Genesis, but we will have Panay Leifer, our chief academic officer. We'll have our 2 high school principals, and then I think somebody from Chartwells is going to be there again to talk to y'all about food service and what's going on with that. So we bring several people in from leadership of the district and other guests to meet with our students as well. So hopefully they're learning a lot about the process. I think being here tonight, and I've told them this before, they learn about governance, they learn about district governance, the board, and how they represent, and it mirrors what y'all do. They represent all the people in Bastrop ISD, the parents and the taxpayers as 7 board members, and y'all represent your student body when you come speak with me at Student Advisory Council. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Thanks for being here tonight. We appreciate it.
We're going to now, the board has some more things to do, and it requires a closed session, but before we go, we want to thank everybody for coming. Thank everybody for the presentations. Thank Ms. Gardner for coming out from Lost Pines, and we'd like to see more of that. We probably have enough campuses to cover each month of the year. So it'd be great to hear from the principals each and every month. So thank you for bringing that. That was great. Also want to commend the kids. It's amazing how well-spoken you kids are, and your kids to me. Even though some of you are seniors, you're still kids. You're very well-spoken. There's a lot of kids that won't come in here and talk. I've got a couple at my house. They won't come in here and speak, and I just want to applaud you for being able to come and speak very well. And Mr. Murray's putting it in your head to think about the future,
and future focus is what the district is. So I applaud you for coming and participating in an activity that's volunteer. I guess you have to be accepted by the superintendent, but it is volunteer.
Actually, after the first year, they help pick the students each year. They pick their peers to be on the student advisory council.
Well,
Yeah.
looking into that future focus, what y'all are doing representing student bodies like what we're doing. And so maybe somebody will be on this side.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Does anybody have any more questions before we go? All right, we'll now convene into closed session to discuss the items posted on our agenda allowed by the Texas Government Code 551074, 551071, and 551072, attorney consultation and personnel matters. Thank you all for coming. We'll be back in a few.
Thanks, y'all. Yeah, that's what I'm telling them.
It is now 7:10, and we'll reconvene into open session. There is no action from closed session. Oh, that's all right.
There is.
Is there?
Yes.
Oh, there is action. I'm sorry, there is action.
That's all right. Every administrator in the district just went. Every administrator just had a heart murmur. He was joking.
Are y'all awake now?
Look at Barry. Barry's turning red.
I would like to make a motion. I recommend that the administrators list the offered contracts as indicated. I second.
Great. It is been moved and seconded to approve the administrator's contracts as presented in closed session. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. There you go, Barry. Thank you all for coming. We will see y'all before spring break, right? Except maybe not you. Never know. Never know. Thank y'all for coming. Have a good evening.